My longer than usual title, since my sermon has to be short, is called The Mission and Ministry of Jesus and Spirit of the Cross Made Clear. Yes. The mission and the ministry of Jesus and Spirit of the Cross made clear. There's a lot in Scripture that people need to have some help interpreting in order for them to understand. But then there are other things that are quite clear. All you have to do is read them. Yes. As Jesus says, they who have eyes to see, see. Ears to hear, hear. All you have to do is read them. And now you have a choice. You don't have to follow it because God gave you free will. I suggest you do. But, yes. But you have free will. And so Scripture is very clear about this, that the essence of God and Jesus is love. Yes. Yes. The essence of God and Jesus is love. If that's true, then why do so many Christians, especially preachers of all things, miss this very clear truth? Wow. I saw a cartoon this week that sort of explained why. It's not a funny cartoon, it's a profound cartoon. In the cartoon, Jesus is talking to what would have been the preachers of his day. And he says to them this. He says, the difference between you and me is that you try to interpret Scripture to see what love means. But I use love to determine what Scripture means. Oh, yes. Big difference. Profound difference. And if we do not use love to see what the Scriptures mean, we will miss the mission and the ministry of Jesus. The two greatest commandments as identified by Jesus is about love. What else? Love God completely and love your neighbor as yourself. Those are essential in understanding the ministry and the mission of Jesus. And of course, implicit in the second command is that you love yourself. It's a command to love yourself. You know why? Because you can't give what you don't have. Amen? Amen? And so really, these two great commandments is really three great commandments. Love God, love yourself, and love others. I want to tell you something. Spirit of the Cross, you affirm these three great commandments on your website. I went and looked. And these are the words you affirm it in. You say those three great commandments in these words. We believe that Jesus taught us to live and to walk in love for God, to love all other people and ourselves. You got it. And that's why the Scripture text that Jesus chose from Isaiah 61 to be the basis for his first sermon was so important. In them we find the mission and the ministry of Jesus Christ made clear. The two assigned texts today are the lectionary assigned passages for today, from Jeremiah 1 and Luke 4. And they can speak powerfully in encouraging this affirmation, this welcoming of the Spirit of the Cross entering this covenant relationship with the Southeast Conference of the United Church of Christ, if we let them. The Jeremiah passage is an interesting passage. It's speaking to each of us individually. And it's talking to us and telling us that you and I are unique, but we are chosen by God for God's purposes. Amen. And then the gospel text from Luke 4 speaks to the family of faith, speaks to us collectively about the mission and the ministry of Jesus, of Spirit of the Cross, made clearer as we enter into this covenant relationship with the United Church of Christ. Let me deal with Jeremiah 1 first. In Jeremiah 1, Jeremiah, and I'm not going to call him a little hurt like I did once before when I preached here. Yeah. But Jeremiah is like most of us. And Jeremiah had this who me moment. And he has this who me moment when he's called by God to come into the service of the mission and the ministry of God. And God made sure he didn't miss it. And so God said, yes, you. And like Jeremiah, every one of us need to know that God is still calling. God is still speaking. And God is calling each one of you at the Spirit of the cross. And these are words that are words of preparation and challenge, but they're also words of hope and assurance. And God is saying to you, before I created you in the womb, I knew you. Yes. Amen? Amen? I knew you. Before you were born, I even set you apart. I made you to be a prophet. Now, not all of you are going to be running around with, preaching. You know what a prophet really is? A prophet is an inspired proclaimer of the will of God. Donna, when you play that piano so beautifully, you are an inspired proclaimer of the word of God. Praise team and choir, when you sing God's praises so lovely as you did this morning, you are inspired proclaimers of the will of God. When the intercessors for folks, when the communion service serves, those are inspired proclaimers of the will of God. And so God is saying to you what he said to Jeremiah, don't hand me your excuses. I know you got them, but I ain't mine. And so God is saying, as I said to Jeremiah, as I said to my son Jesus, as it is true for the United Church of Christ, as it is true for the you, Spirit of the Cross, my mission and my ministry has not changed in all these years. So where I send you, go. What I tell you, say. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what it's going to meet out there. Because through it all, I got your back. Amen. I'm with you. Amen? Amen. Amen. And so then we look at the passage from Luke 4. Jesus, in Luke 4, for Jesus' first sermon, he chose a text. There was a passage of scripture made clear a long time ago. And Jesus used that as the text for his mission and his ministry. And it's also the same for Spirit of the Cross. I almost said covenant. Yes, it's for covenant and the United Church of Christ too. God is still speaking. And God is saying to Spirit of the Cross today, the Spirit of the Lord is upon you. Yes. Because the Lord has anointed you. Yes. God is sending you to preach good news to the poor, yes, to proclaim release to the prisoner, yes, recovery of sight to the blind, to liberate the oppressed, yes, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. Yes. And after Jesus read this scripture that he would use as the text for his first sermon from Isaiah 61, Luke 4 goes on and said, he rolled up the scroll. And he gave it back to the synagogue assistant and he sat down. He preached his first sermon sitting down. You ever try that? But every eye in the synagogue was on him. And he began to explain to them, today, this scripture has been fulfilled just as you heard it. And I'm not going to go through the next 9 verses, but in the next 9 verses is the actual sermon of Jesus. And if you look at that sermon, that very first public sermon that Jesus preached, it was a message about inclusion. Yes, it was. Including the vulnerable, the poor, the disenfranchised, the immigrant, the despised. It was not a popular message. And that's important for us to note because we need to know that not everybody is going to like a message of inclusion. Right. Yes. This church of all churches should know that. Right. They're not going to like like the idea that you include the vulnerable, the poor, the franchise, the immigrant, or all those others who are different. And Jesus' first sermon got church folks so mad that they took him out of the synagogue and out of the city to the cliff where the city was built on, and their intention was to throw him off and kill him right then. I love how the Bible says, but he just passed through. I don't know about you, I have a vivid imagination. I can see all these, where'd he go, where'd he go, where'd he go? He just passed right through. Let me tell you something. Remember, that's important to know. Remember, the promise of God to Jeremiah and to you, Spirit of the Cross, is don't be afraid. Oh, I'm with you. Amen. I'm with you to rescue. Spirit of the Cross, I believe your affiliation with the United Church of Christ is a call to a greater impact in this city. To partner with United. Is it United? United Husband. And all of us, you still got to partner with us down in Covenant. Look, I'm looking for. But as it was for Jesus, I believe Isaiah 61 read from Luke 4 is the making of the mission and the ministry of the Spirit of the Cross clear. Last week, some of you may have noticed that, I guess a week and a half ago, the Supreme Court of the United States dealt a blow to equality with that horrible decision to let that ban proceed against our transgender brothers and sisters who are serving in the military or seeking to serve in the military. And what I want to say to you this morning is that Spirit of the Cross, God is calling you to continue to be an inclusive community of faith, committed to speaking truth to power and advocating for those outside these walls and going out there when you face an awful decision like that. Why? Because it's the very opposite of the mission and the ministry of Jesus and Spirit of the Cross that's made clear. It does nothing to liberate the oppressed. It does nothing to help those who have lost hope of being and living fully as God has purposed for their lives. Amen. Your partnership with the United Church of Christ is a commitment to the mission and the ministry of Jesus. And Spirit of the Cross, again, I was reading your webpage. And the very first thing you get to, have y'all read y'all's webpage lately?
Yes.
Then you'll know that this is the truth. And if you hadn't, you ought to go read it. The first, on your webpage, the very first thing you get to are these words from Richard. We are a church where you can be who God created you to be. Yes. Amen. We are a church where you can discover God's unconditional love and unending grace. Amen. That's what your website says. Amen. Amen? Amen? And then if you flip over to the Know Us page and go down under the heading Who We Are. Yeah, I really did. Praise God. You read this. You will find Spirit of the Cross. You will find Spirit of the Cross to be a church where there is diversity. All you have to do is look around. Amen? Amen. And it goes on to say, Spirit of the Cross affirms the dignity and the worth of every person, since all are created in the image of God. Amen. Amen. That's the mission. That's the ministry of both Jesus and Spirit of the Cross, made clear and very simple. And it's a very much needed message. Amen. Especially here in the South, Amen. Where too many church folk are in bed with the empire. Amen. Stroking fear and division as a means of controlling people's lives and staying in power and continuing to oppress the poor, the different, the vulnerable, the immigrant, and all the rest, whom Jesus said, when you do it to them, you do it to the least of these, you're doing it to me. Amen. I guess they didn't read that part. Again, the opening line on the Noah's page says this: at Spirit of the Cross, you will discover our passion to provide a place for where people just like you can have a life-changing experience with God. I told you I was going to be good today, and I'm going to end right here. Okay. His prayer was longer than my sermon. Just remember that. Let me end by asking you a question. How do you live into making the claims that you say on your website true? How do you live? How do you make this a reality for your life and for the life of this church? I'll tell you how. You do it by preaching good news to the poor. I'm not just talking about those without money, also those that are poor in spirit. Amen. You do it by proclaiming release to prison, not just those in jail, but those that are prisoners in their own mind. Yes. You do it by preaching recovery of sight to the blind, not just those who can't physically see, but those that can't see God's love for them. Yes. You do it by liberating the oppressed. Speaks for itself. And you do it by proclaiming the favorable year of the Lord. When is the favorable year of the Lord? Right now. Right now. Every day is the favorable year. On the way up here, I was listening to West Angeles Church of God in Christ choir singing, and they were talking about dance, children, dance. This is the year of Jubilee. Amen. Every year is the Jubilee in Jesus Christ. But it begins with each of us answering the call of God on our lives. And this morning, if you're having a who me moment, because you're uncertain this is for you, let me make it perfectly clear. This is for you. And God is still speaking and saying, yes, you. Yes, you, man. You're looking up here like me. I go back a long way with that man. And so on this day of welcoming, Spirit of the Cross, as they enter and celebrate this covenant relationship with the United Church of Christ, I invite you this morning to enter and renew your covenant relationship with God. Praise team, would y'all come and help me, okay? I invite you to enter this right where you are with a commitment to the mission and the ministry of Jesus Christ and Spirit of the Cross. It's very easy to see. I'll say yes, Lord. I'll say yes. To your will, Lord. I'll say yes. Where you lead, I will go. I'll say yes, Lord. I'll say yes.